Hi, everyone. So here we are again, but I welcome you, truly. It's just fun even seeing the chat. It makes me feel like I actually am with you. So welcome, family, friends, our KCC board members, and our KCC staff. For those of you who I don't know, I'm Jeannie Alter. I'm the executive director of the Kennedy Children's Center, and I really want to thank you for joining us. I know we're zoomed out, but promise this will be a really great hour together. And as you know, we're here to celebrate. And as a world, we have a lot to celebrate. And as Kennedy, we have so much to celebrate. So even though we're going to have you on mute for most of the evening, it just makes the show go a bit easier. Unmute yourselves for a minute. You will all be given permission. And let's just give a cheer, say hello. If you got noisemakers, clap. Let's just do it. Let's make some noise.
I'm
So, of you who know me and know Carolyn, that's all Carolyn. So she's the best, and I appreciate her sharing her Spotify with us. So, for all the sponsors on the call, thank you. It is because of you that we've made all of this possible, so I appreciate that. We're going to be using the chat feature throughout the night, and many of you have already been in there. But where are you? Are you guys in New York? Are you in different states? Are you out of the country? Say hi. Tell us who you are, where you're signing in from. We got New Jersey. I know we got New York in the house. The Bronx, absolutely. Philadelphia. I know that might. Long Island, Maplewood, New Jersey, Massachusetts. Hey, Kathy, another retiree. Woohoo! Coming in from Harlem, HQ. That is where I am too. New Jersey, got it. And Maryland, Southold by the beach, Garden City. It is good to see you all. I am so happy. North Salem, I know where you are. Washington Heights, all right. And Brown and Brown in Garden City. So everyone, amazing. Asheville, North Carolina, amazing. So it is just truly, truly so grateful you took the time. I'm going to turn this over right now to my co-host for the night, CK Sweat. So say hi, CK.
Hi, everyone. My name is indeed CK Sweat. I'm reporting live from Sterling, Virginia. Usually I'm in Brooklyn, New York, but today is my 39th birthday. And all I wanted to do for my birthday was raise money for Kennedy and play golf with my girlfriend's dad. So we're down here. A little housekeeping before we begin. For the best viewing experience, choose active speaker view in the top right corner of your screen. Otherwise, you'll miss the spotlighting and video work that the great team at Spark Street Digital is coordinating for us. Look, I'm glad you're all used to using the chat because that is how we're going to be collecting donations tonight. This is a fundraiser. In normal times, I'm an auctioneer to like, hey, well, all right, so now what are you going to give for them? I got a 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4. But the fact is tonight, I don't have anything to sell because this is a celebration and all we're going to be asking is for you to make straight donations in the chat window. Any gift you make will help Kennedy's Children's Center reopen the playground on the roof of their Bronx preschool. We need it. The playground is currently closed due to some wear and tear, to say generously, and we are relying on your generosity of private donors like you to get it reopened. So don't be shy. Pitch in and help us reach our goal. To make a donation, just put your name and your pledge into the chat and someone from our team will be in touch with you about making your donation. If you don't want to put your pledge amount into the chat, just put your name and your email address and we'll follow up, or your phone number, we'll text. We will make this happen because we got to give those kids a safe place to play. Now, you might remember my crazy energy from last year's digital event back when Zoom parties were still a novel thing. Kennedy threw their hat into the ring in those early days. We had no idea whether the event would succeed or not, but thanks to so many of you who are here again tonight, we raised enough money to operate Kennedy's Saturday Play program for 2 full seasons. Saturday Play is a highly specialized recreational program for children with autism and their families. And it is just one of the critical programs that Kennedy is able to offer the community because of the generosity of, again, people like you. You all are amazing. I met a lot of you last year. You guys are incredible.
So here we are again, the Kennedy community coming together after an extraordinary year. Kennedy provides mandated special ed and related services to over 400 public school children with developmental delays. We have 2 school sites, one in East Harlem and one in the South Bronx, and these schools provide a safe and supportive environment for students and their families. We know that children learn best in school through active relationship-based learning. So while remote learning was hard for all children throughout the city, for the young children we serve, it was especially difficult. The fact that we were able to continue providing services really comes down to the incredible efforts of our 200 plus staff members. They are amazing. Thumbs up to the Kennedy staff. When Kennedy transitioned to remote-only learning in March 2020, together you raised the money we needed to provide iPads to our students. Our partners at Catholic Charities provided emergency casts and supplies to families in need. And one kind neighbor who we'll recognize later donated groceries and Foodtown gift cards to families facing food insecurity. And tonight, we're coming together again to help reopen our Bronx playground, which was closed in 2019, so we can provide a sensory-friendly green space where our children and families can learn and heal after this extraordinary year.
I can't emphasize this enough, Jeannie. We're here to celebrate the Kennedy community. You will hear from medical staff who are on the front lines, board members who supported Kennedy each step of the way, and the staff and families who make all this work possible. First up, our medical responders. It goes without saying that the communities Kennedy serves were hit exceptionally hard by the COVID crisis. While Kennedy's engaged in life-changing work, our local medical providers were doing life-saving work. The doctors and nurses taking care of children and families in Harlem and the Bronx and throughout our state were brave, compassionate, and committed to the highest quality of care.
You know, thanks, CK, because we had the honor of speaking to several of them. And it truly was an honor to be able to hear what was going on behind the news, behind what we were hearing. Katie Michaels, who you'll hear from, is a registered nurse who works in trauma care, and she was inspired by her grandmother to go into nursing. Dr. Melissa Peskin-Stoltz is an OBGYN in the Bronx, who probably has delivered some of our students. Jane and Mary Waters are the wife and daughter of Terry Waters, Kennedy's facility manager in the Bronx. Jane is an experienced nursing director, but their daughter Mary, she graduated from nursing school in May 2020 and immediately began working on a COVID ward. They are truly a family of essential workers.
Jeannie, I know that our audience is already so inspired by what they've heard here tonight because we've gotten donations from Kate West, Bryce Diamond, O'Connor's. We have donations pouring in. Thank you to all of you. Keep them coming. And in the meantime, let's hear from all these folks, Jeannie, that you just mentioned, and about how they showed up while keeping themselves, their families, and our communities safe.
I was very drawn from the beginning to emergency nursing, specifically because that is such a critical, crucial time, and it's such an honor and privilege to be with those people on those darkest, scariest days, and hopefully making an impact and making something better. It's amazing. We had an influx of so many people with same symptoms of shortness of breath, cough, and their oxygen saturations were extremely low. When I saw the sheer amount of numbers that came in, I knew at that point that this was something that was going to be around for a lot longer than what I anticipated.
I mean, as an essential worker, I'm in an outpatient facility, so I was essential for patients that had to come to my center. There was no other help for them, so we had to be there to change their dressings. I'm a wound care nurse, so there was nobody else to take care of them, so I had to be there every day. I leave for work and know that Mary was at work, and we just kept it very positive. A lot of good energy.
I think that during the time of COVID, everything was so numb, so you just kind of like I was just doing the movements and I was just getting through the day. And
we were just so afraid of getting infected ourselves that it really impacted, I don't want to say it impacted the care that we gave, but it impacted, I think, how we related to our patients. We were behind all these like major, especially if they were COVID positive, we had major layers of PPE and they were behind their masks, and it was like, you know, it was just very impersonal. And we have pictures of speaking to patients that way, which is just sort of surreal.
You realize how big families are to patients. Like, we had sick patients on our floor, and we realized that these families want to be with their family members, and we would be FaceTiming families left and right. Like, we had the laptops and we FaceTimed. Like, it was just part of our routine. We did our meds and then we called every family and just checked in, and I feel like it made me realize that the family is a big role in the patient's health and getting better.
The families are striving, right? They're trying for their kids, they're doing the best they can. I mean, there was an article actually about the Bronx being the epicenter of COVID. Why? Because all of the people, the adults, worked in Manhattan. They couldn't stop working or worked throughout the Bronx. And so they would put themselves in danger of getting sick. And what would happen is they would bring that back to their family. I would be remiss if I didn't say that we need to recognize the effect of systemic racism on our community. And I hope that this is a major impetus to really never let that be buried or never take that for granted. Don't get jaded about it again, and really work work really hard. That's what I would look forward to. Just dismantling systemic racism and making this world more fair for everybody, and most of my patients included.
My biggest hope is that we remember. I don't want us to forget what happened. I don't want us to forget the people that we lost. And I want us to continue to rally behind each other and support each other and remain the resilient New Yorkers that we are, especially when it comes to, caring and showing up and being there for one another. That's something that I don't ever want to see go away.
Looking back on it now, I realize how happy they made me when I came home. It was nice to sit down at a meal and just talk about anything light. And I look back on it now and I realize that I couldn't have got through it without them.
It is with deep appreciation and honor that we thank these professionals and all of their colleagues for their incredible work and care. We are here because of what each of you did to help us get through this pandemic and the hope of what each of you represent for our community and our families.
Thanks, CK. I was so humbled when I did those interviews, each one of them so touching, because there was only so much you can know about what was going on, and their strength was incredibly inspiring to me. And strength comes from community. And KCC is indeed lucky to have so many people who care deeply about children and families. Our board members, speaking of strength and community, are volunteers who give their time and talent to see our mission succeed. You know what was really amazing? Our board grew during the pandemic. Despite the limitations of closed buildings and Zoom meetings, a group of amazing volunteers decided that this was the year to join our cause. And it's an honor to introduce our board chair, Mr. Michael O'Connor, the one and only, who's responsible for leading our board of directors. Woo!
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all. And I also echo those wonderful words of Jeannie's support for our medical first responders. They did a spectacular job, and it is one that is truly inspiring. Before I introduce some of our great new board members, I would like to remind everybody why we're here. And I'd like to do it in a way that I think we can all relate to. I personally can remember as a young boy, and I'm sure you all can remember as a young girl or young boy, the sheer joy you had when a parent or an older sibling or a babysitter brought you to the playground and you got to run around and play and have some fun for an hour or so. How cool was that? There was one a couple of blocks away from our house, and it was just a very special time when I could get to go there. Unfortunately for our children up in the Bronx, they don't get to do that right now. Due to wear and tear of years old equipment, our Bronx playground is closed and we need to get it reopened. And we need your help because in its infinite wisdom, New York State, the way they fund schools like ours, won't pay for a playground. Pretty sad, but true. So we need your help, and leading that cause for helping are some of those wonderful new board members that Jeannie and CK alluded to. These are people who in the last 18 to 20 months have stepped up in this crazy pandemic time and offered to help. They've offered to volunteer their time, their talent, and in many cases, their wallets to help the children and the families that we serve here at Kennedy Children's Center. Just to name a couple of them, of our new ones, we have Edward Linden, Matt Ramondi, Vijay Jesrani, Evan Ennis, Shruti Patel, Laura Shanley, Sal Piscopo, and Leela Hahn. Now, Leela hasn't been formally approved by the Archdiocese, but that's in the works and we're excited about her. And I want to give a special shout out to Evan. You won't see her on the video, but Evan was on her way up to the Kennedy School in Harlem, and walking along the street, she stepped off a curb, messed up her ankle pretty bad and had to go back home. So shout out to Evan for the try and appreciate it. And I think you guys will appreciate hearing some of the story of these wonderful young men and women who have decided to go beyond their day-to-day and help the children and families of the Kennedy Children's Center.
Thanks, Michael. So we're going to watch a video that we made, and I hope you'll enjoy and be just as inspired by what these individuals took on during the pandemic.
To me, it was a time that none of us had been through before, right? This was a global pandemic. We all didn't know what working was going to be like, what living was going to be like. We're all stuck at home. And to me, I immediately thought, well, what about these kids, right? These kids who already have special needs, who already, need that extra help and love that they get at Kennedy. They're now going to be at home. They're now going to be remote. They're going to not really understand what's going on. And to me, it was all about how do we get a solution?
During the pandemic, I saw what we were going through both as a country, as a nation, but also as the world. And being someone who has enough and also starting from a place where I didn't have enough definitely made me feel like I need to do something right now.
There are people in my family who are impacted by autism in particular. And as difficult, it's my Aunt Fran, and as difficult as that was for her, it was difficult on my grandparents. This is back in the 60s before anyone really knew what autism was. It impacted my father, and it's impacted me in a way that I kind of saw what she was grappling with and going through. One of the things that I loved about Kennedy is that it doesn't support just the students, but it supports the families as well.
So my experience as a teacher really informed why I wanted to join a board, especially in the education space. I saw firsthand, I was a teacher in the Bronx, I saw firsthand how children that did not have great experiences in the education system in K through 8 were wildly disadvantaged in high school. I just kept coming across case by case of students who were failed by the education system and who were, not set up for success by the time they reached high school. And so I've always been really thinking about how could you help students earlier in that trajectory to close those gaps earlier on. It's so important, and I think the focus on early childhood education, to me, especially for special needs children, can really just change their lives over the longer term and teach them skills young and just improve their lives.
KCC was very impressive to me. It's got a terrific mandate in terms of what it does for the community here, providing a safe learning environment for children with developmental delays as well as financial difficulties, and that was very inspiring, the service that KCC provides to the community, and there's just such a great growth trajectory that I've seen possible, and already we're on it.
I was just so incredibly inspired and amazed by the work of the Kennedy staff and teachers to just transform how these kids learn, figure out how to get them learning remotely, how to get them their lunch during the day. I mean, it was just the amount of rallying that was done and the solutioning that came together was just incredible.
And so my hope is that we can give these children that were born with like a foot behind the starting line the resources that they need to be on an equal footing with the rest of the children that were born here.
Thinking big about giving back to the Kennedy Children's Center, it's all about, again, serving that mission. And there's a lot of ways that you can give back, right? You can give back with your time, you can give back monetarily, and you can give back just by coming to the school, right? You don't even send the board to do it. And I think the type of person that wants to give back to us is very interested in helping the children and helping the teachers. And to anyone that is thinking about volunteering with us or donating to us or joining us on the board, I welcome you with open arms, because we want someone that has the enthusiasm and the love for these children, and they can really help us move this mission forward.
I can't wait to meet everyone in person. It's amazing seeing the interest across the board, different walks of life, from professionals wanting to help out KCC and its mission.
That's absolutely incredible commitment. And it's why we're here tonight. Kennedy's dedication to children and families reaches so far beyond the classroom. While state funding covers the cost of classes and therapy for these remarkable children, there is no state funding available for other vital programs that help our students and families succeed. That's why any gift you make tonight will have a true and lasting impact on hundreds of our children. And I just want to take a moment and thank you for those folks who have already made donations. We just got $1,000 donation from Cabrini Mission Foundation. It brings our total to almost 2,000. Keep it coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, CK. Truly, meeting those board members over Zoom was just amazing, that energy and their desire to want to give back could just come through. And it was just wonderful to meet them in person when we did these interviews. And Evan, hats off. I know you tried to get here, so I really appreciate that. I also want to thank so many of you that not only are just giving tonight, because it's amazing, but that have given tonight and in the weeks leading up to it, because it means a lot to us. It really reminds us of this big community that we are part of. Because these programs that are beyond just the school, the Saturday Play program that you generously supported last year, that provides no-cost weekend recreation for children with autism and their families. It's an amazing program. These kids really, we get to play with them in a very gentle, different than school kind of atmosphere. It includes nutrition counseling, which many of you support. And it's just simply irreplaceable for so many of our young students that have eating and feeding disorders. And I know I saw our nutritionists on the call tonight, and my good friend Kathy and Matt, good friends I should say, Kathy and Maddie, who helped keep that nutrition program going. So thank you. Our Grow Your Own Teacher program, which was highlighted in 2019 at our spring benefit, back when we were together in person, recruits and trains people who have the desire to teach, but not the financial means to enter the teaching field.
Which is so important to have that on-ramp. And look, this funding also, of course, includes the rooftop play space in the Bronx. We need to get it up to code. Every dollar raised tonight will directly underwrite those renovations. And after a year spent inside, Kennedy's students need opportunities to exercise and socialize in a safe and supportive environment. But right now, when this need is greatest, the playground on the roof of the Bronx school is closed. The playground was built in 1990 and is showing the wear and tear of city life. The floor tiles, they create a tripping hazard and can no longer be safely secured to create a level surface despite heroic efforts on the part of the maintenance team to maintain and repair it.
And those efforts have been heroic. And that's one of the reasons that we are honoring our maintenance team tonight. Because let me just tell you about the playground before we get to the pandemic. The maintenance team up in the Bronx has reset the tiles, filled in cracks with foam, and has literally pounded them back into place so that the kids could keep playing. But at this point, the surface just needs to be replaced.
And Jeannie, I don't know if you have access to the totals, but we just got $1,000 from Donna and Andy Kraus, 75 from the Finnegans, and a couple others, and we are up to $5,500 just raised in the last 32 minutes since we went live. Jeannie, we're doing it! We're doing it! It's so cool. And look, your generous gifts, they have already raised enough to replace the tiles. But turning the roof into a custom designed space for young children with developmental delays, that is the dream. Let's make that dream become a reality. Any gift you make tonight will help turn the Bronx roof into a calm, green oasis for our students and families in a community severely lacking outdoor play space that is appropriate for young children with special needs. And we just got a $3,000 donation from Baumgartner Charitable Fund, $1,250 donation in honor of Anthony Concepcion. Yes, Anthony! Yeah, Anthony! I met Anthony when I visited East Harlem a couple weeks ago, and his energy it could supercharge New York City. It's incredible. We just got $500 from Amy, Larry, and Emily, $100 from Mary and Catherine Walters. We're up, Jeannie, it's working. We're up to $7,335 raised. Let's catapult past 10,000 because all in, I think we're going to get $150,000 tonight. And look, you're probably curious, what will your gift accomplish? $500 will help provide outdoor toys that improve balance and coordination. $1,000 will help fund awnings that allow children to play outside, even on a hot or rainy days. And without that shade, it's just not possible. New York, it's so hot. You all know that. You want to go big? Do you want to go really big? $10,000 will underwrite the new sensory garden designed for children with autism. It's going to be so cool. But your gift in any amount, large or small, will have a direct and huge impact. Our children, they deserve a play area designed just for them. We want to sincerely thank you all for helping make that a reality.
Thank you, CK. So, you know, you've heard tonight from our medical providers who just humbled me, our board members who energized me. But I have to tell you, it's our maintenance team that amazes me, because we had to get our kids back to school. We knew that. And you know what's more important? They knew that. And it is because of them that the 200 staff members came back to our buildings, because we knew our buildings were safe. So I want to tell you about this magnificent maintenance team, because they are the recipients of the KCC Service Award. The Service Award is an annual recognition that KCC bestows upon someone who's really gone above and beyond in their service to our children and families. Well, it's hard to say if one person is more essential than the next, but I do know that without these amazing gentlemen that I want to tell you about, we would not be back in our schools today. And that is why, hands down, we want to recognize this entire team with the KCC Service Award. So we all know that the past year, the concept of an essential worker took on new meaning. And in the early days of the pandemic, we were scared, unsure of how the virus spread. And if we would get sick, we stayed at home, we absorbed the news, wiping down groceries, and trying to figure out how we were trying to figure out at KCC, how are we going to teach young children with disabilities through screens? But our maintenance team, while we were home worrying and thinking, Terry, Miguel, Sergio, Anthony, and David, they showed up to work every day. They made sure the buildings were safe, that the plumbing and the HVA systems were working properly. They scrubbed all the classrooms and every toy. And if you know what 37 classrooms of preschool toys look like, you know that's not a small job. As spring crept into summer, it was clear we weren't going anywhere, and new plans were made to keep our buildings in shape. Once the summer arrived and some of us were allowed back to work, the maintenance team made safety and cleanliness a top priority. They created 6-foot grids in every classroom. They put signage and arrows in every hallway, on every staircase. They ordered and installed fans and gates. They learned about PPE, and where to find it. They put up dividers and moved furniture and rugs from room to room as we tried to figure out how to get the children back to school. You know what? Not once did they back down from what was asked of them, and not once did they question their commitment to the Kennedy community. Terry and Miguel transformed, but I mean transformed, the Bronx school. They took it upon themselves and their team to make our nearly 50-year-old building look shiny and new. They painted, polished, cleaned, and supervised the construction of our new lobby entrance. Anthony took it upon himself, asked if he could paint cheerful murals at both our sites to welcome staff back and honor the longevity of so many of our KCC team members. He even helped deliver school supplies and emergency funds to the families unable to get to our schools. Sergio and David accepted iPad deliveries and secured them for distribution. They watered our plants, kept them alive, and helped parents as they arrived at school to pick up their needed supplies. Terry, Anthony, and Sergio even collected mail from the post office and went downtown to pick up donated laptops from one of our wonderful board members. Truly, there was nothing they wouldn't do. We were able to get back to school directly because of them. They made us feel safe, and we knew the buildings were clean and sanitized. They continue this work, always with a smile, and always just a simple question: what else do you need? So we owe them a debt of gratitude, and I'm pleased to recognize each of them, and I think we're gonna highlight them, and they are, VJ, amazing heroes. Terry Waters, Miguel Cabral, Anthony Concepcion, Sergio Gaitan, and David Johnson with the KCC Service Award for 2021. Unmute your mics and give these guys the proper KCC cheer. Woo-hoo!
Go maintenance team.
Great job.
Go, guys.
Bravo, bravo.
Good job.
Well done, and
Hey.
They're the best. Way to
Wonderful.
go.
Thank
Nice
you
job,
for everything
everybody.
that you do.
So well deserved. For those of you tuning in who haven't yet visited East Harlem, go. Walk the hall, see the kids. When I was there 3 weeks ago, I got to meet Anthony and Sergio and David, and they are so integral to making that place just feel alive. And it really brings home why we go to all the effort for these virtual events. There's so much behind the scenes work, and we care so much. There's just so much love. So just one more, Anthony, Sergio, David, so great to meet you, and hats off to the entire maintenance team. This award could not be more deserving. Now, we want to acknowledge an individual from the Kennedy community who has shown extraordinary compassion to the children and families. Food insecurity was a terrifying reality for so many during the pandemic. Kennedy's East Harlem location, it's across the street from Foodtown, and the owner, Anthony Reynosa, took it upon himself to approach Kennedy and ask how he could help. What a saint. Anthony has a long history of supporting Kennedy's families, donating turkeys and food for Thanksgiving, providing spreads for training programs and events, and more. When the pandemic hit, he began donating monthly Foodtown gift certificates to families who the school knew were struggling with food insecurity. Last May, he and his daughter even delivered donated groceries to the Kennedy families in need. Always thinking of the community, Anthony provided gift certificates to our families so they could support local family-owned restaurants in East Harlem. I mean, now that is community.
CK, you're right, because Anthony approached us when, we're a school and we had to really think outside our virtual walls how to help the families and what they needed. And I have to say that Anthony and his kind, wonderful team at Foodtown are a shining example and our definition of community. And we're grateful to be his neighbor, and we're proud to present him with the 2021 KCC Humanitarian Award. So thank you, Anthony.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're a hero. Thank you. So unmute yourself and let's give him a round of applause.
Yeah, we are spotting you, Anthony. You are the real deal. Nice.
All right. Thank you, Anthony. Much appreciated.
Hey, Anthony.
And Anthony, I just
Down.
Okay, CK, you're back. No, you're on mute.
Hey, what's a virtual pandemic fundraiser? That's a little bit of technical difficulties. Here's the thing. We are so inspired that we only have $2,000 to go until we've reached $10,000. Anthony, the maintenance staff, our first responders, Jeannie, we are doing it. Our community is coming together to show the love for these children. Now, that's the reason we're all here. It's the children who rely on our staff for services, and the families who support all of these efforts. This was not just another school year.
No, CK, it was not just another school year. When the KCC staff had to pivot to remote services in March 2020, Like everyone else around the city, we were stunned. How could we possibly teach young children with disabilities through a screen? How could we help families who didn't have a computer, a tablet, or Wi-Fi at home? How are we going to continue the work that we do, which is to teach children to play, to socialize, use language, and learn skills that help them get ready for kindergarten? I said to my staff many, many times through the year that they are the special in special education. Because reaching children and families wherever they are in their development or on their journey is our calling. But listen to our staff. Let's hear from them. How our staff, our parents, and even a teacher assistant in training managed to teach and learn throughout the pandemic.
Being a teacher and being a mom to a special needs child is very difficult and challenging. But when it came for me working in Kennedy, it eased the challenge a little bit because I understood the parents and I understood what it is to be standing where they were.
Well, when you first get the diagnosis and everything like that, you feel alone. You know, you don't know what to do, you don't know what to turn to. You feel like you're in it by yourself. You know, just us two and our child. But you realize there's a lot of resources out there, and it's great having help. You know, having those experts, especially those therapists, teachers that can help you.
Before the pandemic, Lorenzo was always hyper and ready to, once he saw the school bus, it was no bye mom, it was just straight into the bus. He was happy.
I don't think anyone was ready for what March 2020 was gonna bring. It threw everyone off, as a teacher especially, because from day one to the next, we had to switch up what we consider traditional.
It was like a ghost town, everything. There was nobody on the streets, no one on the highways, especially coming here. It was very eerie. I felt bad for the kids. I wanted to really make this building shine, me and my partner Miguel, and we did. We took upon ourselves to talk to Jeannie and talk to Carolyn and Kevin and see if we can get projects going for these kids, because I felt so bad for them.
Well, when the shutdown came, I'm not gonna lie, I freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm home with 2 kids. I have to work from home and I have to become the teacher. I freaked out.
It was really challenging. Those first few days, I was nervous. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know how to explain that to the parents, and let alone, I didn't know how to explain that to young children.
With Lorenzo, with him, screen time is something I reward him with. So the fact that he now had to use his iPad for work, he wasn't having it. In the beginning, he would turn off the Zoom meetings, he would hang up, he would run, or you would see me running after him in the living room and hear me yelling, get over here, and then the tantrums. So it was difficult in the beginning.
We kind of be more creative with the way that we teach, and we try to implement more things and more manipulatives, and even sometimes technology. That's something that we never really introduced before, but now it's like, okay, we also have children at home, so now let's use the technology that we have in the classrooms.
It's taught us how to better communicate with him and how to better kind of like use all the tools that are around us to kind of, I mean, there's even things like not to, you know, like a toilet paper roll that we can turn into a little monster, and now that's something that we use to kind of motivate him to want to play with us and to want to socialize and to want to engage and also further his learning. Knowing that we have teachers and knowing that we have administrators and knowing that we have all the different therapists and all the different outsources and sources in general, tools in general that we're able to use, like you said, make us feel less alone and make us feel like we're building a community.
Between the pandemic and everything that was going on, I saw the program. I thought it was a great opportunity, and it was there for me, so I decided to go. And after you start working with the kids, and there is a life-changing experience, because just by getting there, seeing their faces, that's really great.
I have a whole new respect for teachers, therapists. This isn't an easy job. It is not an easy job, and my hat's off to each teacher, therapist, social worker, anybody in the field.
We're happy with what he's learned so far and how far he's come so far. And this has been through hybrid, remote, so we're so excited to get him full-time in school, and we can imagine how much more he can learn. So we just continue to build.
When I said, Lorenzo, we're going back to school, he goes, yes. And then when the bus came to pick him up, he didn't even look back and say bye. He was on the bus. I don't have a worry. I know he's in good hands.
Jeannie, before you jump in, if you aren't in the chat window, everybody, at 6:46 p.m., so 4 minutes ago, Michael O'Connor and Pam said they will match up to $5,000 any monies raised in the next 15 minutes, which means we have 10 minutes to go to hit that match. And in that span, we got 250 from Laura Shanley and Greg Napolitano. We got Carolyn, Terrence, and Fox are in for 150. We got 100 from Sonia Dela Cruz. We got 400 from Carson, Cooper, Chase, and Crosby and Krause. We got 600 from Greg Thompson, 500 from Shruti Patel. This is crazy. So then double all of that. I didn't bring my TID3 calculator, so I can't do it that quickly, but that means we have 9 more minutes. We have 9 more minutes for this $5,000 match. If you've given before, you can give again. That's totally okay. Let's hit that match. I bet we can raise close to $20,000 just in this virtual event. Let's make it happen. Oh, we just got count me in for 50, Christina V. Thank you. Okay, Jeannie, back to you, Jeannie.
Thank you. So, because you're getting me all very excited about this great news. And
we just got 1,000 from Ann and Randy. Double that. Let's make it happen. It's like we're back in person, even though I'm in this corner. Jeannie, we're doing it.
We are doing it. And it's not we, it is they. It is you, it is we. Because I see that magic happen, teachers, therapists, and Adelini, who is one of our Grow Your Own graduates in our first virtual class that we put together because we weren't going to stop teaching or allowing people to pursue their dreams to become teachers. So Adelini, congratulations to her. She's in the second step of our Grow Your Own program and will be enrolling in college this fall with our support to see her dream come true of being a teacher. She's a great example of how GYO works as a true teacher training pipeline, something that every person on this call who's a Kennedy staff member has something to do with. Teaching is a valued work, and we all have a say in who the next teachers of tomorrow are. So thank you for that.
Look, it's truly amazing to see how each part of this community pulled together to ensure these children continue to learn and grow during the most challenging year. And look, we just got a donation of $250 from Caitlin and Tom O'Connor. It is coming in. And Catherine, I know that you're crunching the numbers on the back end. Can you see if you can get us a total with that matching grant so we can get folks updated? And let's see how much more we can do for these kids. Let's make it happen.
So thank you, CK, and thank you to all of you just for your generosity of time. I always thank people because time is one non-renewable resource we all have. So I'm very grateful when you have spent an hour with us to hear our story. But I would like 2 things. One, I'd like to recognize one very special person in our audience tonight. It's my friend and colleague, Diane Fitzpatrick. She made the decision after 32 years here at Kennedy to have a long and healthy retirement. Her calm, thoughtful manner will be missed by all of us. She is the inspiration and behind GYO, so we are grateful for everything that she has shared with this Kennedy community. Good luck, Diane. Love you. I also want to say that CK did plan on getting up to the Bronx, but because of the way this year went, and I really apologies to Jane, because one, today is Terry and Jane's 27th wedding anniversary, and they are here with us on that call. So thank you for that. But more importantly, I owe Jane a apology for having such an incredibly wonderful, dedicated husband. Because on Sunday, while they were at a family wedding, Terry got a call that the water main there was a water main break in the Bronx. Turned out it was our pipe, and there he was on Sunday afternoon. And to the Bronx team, that is not the way we wanted to end up the school year on remote. But Terry, Miguel, you are the guys. You got that building back up and running. So CK, I'm sorry you didn't get to meet them in person. But Terry and Miguel, thank you, thank you, thank you. Building is open on Friday for those who want to be there, but we are back in business. So thank you.
And Jeannie, again, I'm sorry to interrupt. With 4 minutes to go, our total right now with the match is we've gotten to $16,450. How cool is that? We're almost at 20,000. We're over 15.
Amazing.
Ah.
So, in the spirit of me trying to get you off this call at 7 if you want to go. If not, we're going to open up the mics in a bit. But a lot of us are thinking after coming out of this pandemic, what now? So like many others, I have learned a lot about the human spirit this past year. I've been amazed at our staff who are flexible, creative, dedicated, and determined. And we are ready to welcome all the children back to school 5 days a week with open arms and open hearts. I've been amazed by our families who showed such resilience and bravery while facing just so many scary challenges. They became teachers and therapists in an instant. These parents became our eyes, our ears, our hands, and our hearts because they helped their children continue to learn. And needless to say, I am amazed and humbled from hearing from our medical workers. Melissa, Katie, Jane, and Mary, thank you. Thank you for working to keep us safe on the front lines while understanding that strong bond of family and community and what it means to stay healthy.
For anyone in New York City a year ago, during the deepest days of the pandemic, look, we will never forget the 7 p.m. cheer. During those dark days, we felt so isolated. The 7 p.m. cheer was a way to thank our essential workers while also letting us hear and connect with our neighbors. It lifted our hearts. Look, we couldn't be around one another. So on behalf of everyone here tonight, our parents and staff, our board members, our maintenance team, I love you guys. And of course, our medical workers. I ask all of you to take yourselves off of mute, grab your noisemakers and your signs, and we almost timed it perfectly to 7 p.m. We almost timed it perfectly to 7. We got so close, but let's all join in and let's make that applause.
That cheer is for all of us. Quite a year we've all been.
Let's rock!
Woohoo!
Sergio!
Yay!
So before we open up the floor, I know that Michael Connor wanted to say a couple things, but I want to take a moment to recognize truly and thank our amazing sponsors because you helped lead us here. You guys here tonight, it took us over the top, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Your generosity is so truly, truly appreciated. I from the bottom of my heart, I love my work, and those who know me know I love my work, but this means everything to me. So thank you very much.
And Jeannie, I know our audience can feel that love for your work, like how sincere it is, because just in the last minute or two, we got a $500 donation from Edward Linden. We've gotten $750 just directly to the website. We're closing in fast on $20,000. By my calculation, we're just 2,000 short. We've done 18,000 so far. And so, well done, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight virtually, because we're going to be back in person so soon. I'd like now, it's at 7 p.m. hour, to reintroduce Board Chair Michael O'Connor for some closing words, and then we'll open up the floor to toasts.
Thank you, CK. And thank you, everyone. This has been a very special evening, and what makes it easy to do are the children and their families. And while we've honored and recognized a lot of people tonight who have done some amazing jobs, it would be wrong for me if we didn't honor the person that pulls it all together on a daily basis and just does so many wonderful things for the Kennedy Children's Center, the children we serve, and their families. And that is Jeannie Alter. So if you would all please join me in clap out for Jeannie. She is the best, and this school would be nowhere without her. Thank you all for supporting our gala tonight. Thank you, CK, for your great work. To all the first responders, to the medical team, to our staff, to our new board members, thank you. To Food Town, thank you. You're all very special. To the Kennedy family, and thank you all for participating tonight. Back to you, CK and Jeannie.
Look, I think it's toast time. Jeannie, are we just, is this the moment where we're asking folks who are sticking around to come on and say how they know the Kennedy Center, what they love most, their toasts? I think, look, we just hit $19,050, meaning we're less than 1,000 away. Maybe someone wants to come on and give a toast and make a donation at the same time. What do you think, Jeannie?
I think so. But if anyone wants to say anything, unmute yourself and talk away. And if not, I appreciate the hour that you have spent with us. So cheers.
Sure, I'll just say something. My name is Joe Gannon. I'm a board member as well of several years, and I just echo everything that Michael and everyone else said. It's been really rewarding being involved for the last few years with Kennedy and working with Jeannie, and let's not forget Carol and Cleveland. What an incredible team they are, and the whole staff. And welcome to the new board members as well. They've really injected some extra energy and life and life skills and the talent to this board. So I think we're really posed for a great future. And thank you all.
Joe.
Thank you, Jeannie. Love you.
Sergio.
We love you so
Thanks
much.
for keeping those plants alive.
I see.
Oh, my former Joe. He's the guy.
Great work, guys. You guys are so proud of all of you. You make us proud every day.
Oh, hey.
Come on, Del, say a couple words.
We'll give a toast. This is Bill O'Connor from PPM.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Oh, my God, Bill.
The O'Connor that doesn't know how to spell.
Cheers.
Thank you, Kennedy staff, for taking care of our people. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Mr. O'Connor. Whatever's left to get it to $20,000, we'll take it over the top. Thank you very much. God bless.
PPM are the best. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill.
Hope to see you soon, Bill.
Last toast to the case family. You guys are awesome. You do wonderful work.
Thank you. No. Oh, I am, yes. Oh, who's that good-looking lady?
That's Amanda. And she has been a very patient partner as I just get to be a fundraiser, and it just like everybody, you go visit Kennedy Center, see it in person, see the kids in person. It will change your life.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeannie.
We'll see you soon.
See us on the playground soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
you. Bye, Jeannie. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, Terry.
Later.
I see the two. I see the tie.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Mary, sing a song.
Good night.
Mary has a song for us.
Gina, say goodbye. Thanks, everybody. Very proud to support such a great, this is Victor from Corporate Synergies. So proud to be a partner and support such a great organization that improves the quality of life for so many individuals and their loved ones. So me and Jeter are signing out, actually heading to a lacrosse field. And God bless, stay well. And God bless the Kennedy Children's Center. Thank you.
Thanks, Victor. Thank you.
Hi,
Go
Jeannie.
team. I hope they win.
It's just practice. Got a big tournament this weekend. Anyway.
All right.
I just want to say, ditto, God bless the Kennedy Children's Center community. One of the best days in my life is when Billy O'Connor says to me, Terry, I think I got a great spot for you, the Kennedy Children's Center. From then on, it was history. Thank you for all the recognition. Thank you on behalf of PPM crew. We thank you guys. We love you guys. Billy, Julia, Carol, salute.
Thank you to all.
My friend. Terry's my friend.
Miguel.
Nice, you said.
I also want to say it's
Hello.
really nice to see Catherine on here.
Yes.
Hi, Catherine.
Yes.
Hi, Catherine.
Yes.
Was one of our board members for years. Wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, I just want to congratulate you and Michael for all your hard work. I know it's a very, very, very strenuous job, especially this past year. You handled it wonderful, Jean. I thank you and these wonderful honorees for all their hard work that they put into that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Kennedy Child Center. Wonderful. Thank you so very much. I am so pleased to be part of it. A long time, but continue the good work. God bless you all and just stay with it. Stay with it.
Thank you, Catherine. Means a lot. Appreciate it.
All the best. Cheers.
Cheers. We're good, people? Everyone, last word?
Hey, Jeannie, it's Mary.
Oh, there's my Mary.
Tonight. Great job, everybody. Thank you, all Kennedy maintenance staff. Thank you. Thank you, teachers, parents, our neighbor across the street from us, and already start planning for next year.
Go break.
Thank you, Michael, too. Thank you, Michael, for all the work and making it happen as well. Thank you, everybody.
That's my Mary, already thinking about next year. No rest for the weary, not around Mary McKillop.
See you guys soon.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thanks. Where's Anthony? Wow, 3 minutes of stream of consciousness from Anthony. Good old Sergio. Come on, Anthony.
I think Sergio said enough for all of us.
What?
I talk enough throughout the day, and I walk around like basically like bells. I'm
Holas, holas.
Ran out of words. It doesn't seem
Thank you to
possible.
everyone, and I appreciate you very, very much.
Yeah,
The way
Anthony.
Michaela, because once again, it's always more work to do, and there's more things to think about, and I'm already planning for the next year. I'm planning for July and planning for September. So let's do this, Marines! Hoorah!
I just want to congratulate Jeannie and Michael and all the wonderful people who have contributed to the Kennedy Child Study Center. And I remember the Kennedys from years ago when I met them. My name is Paula Rosen, and I'm a proud member of this group that is striving to improve the lives of the children here, and indeed the children everywhere. So this has just been a wonderful, wonderful session. And I want to congratulate and also I want to congratulate Carolyn. He's been contributing a great deal, and our president of the board. Thank you to all of you.
So for those who are left, thank you, Paula, because in all my craziness, I did not thank the Carolyn Cleveland, who is really the brains behind the operation. And I hope that everyone, I know that so many of you know that. Erin Mitchell, who I believe is on here, also amazing in how much she has helped us. It's a team, and I am so grateful for that.
Hats off, hats off.
Jeannie, Carolyn, Erin, you three especially. You know, I think it's been a fantastic year with what you've been able to accomplish. My fellow board members, the same, and I'm really looking forward to what this year is going to look like. And I can't wait to see you all in person.
Thanks, John. I really appreciate that. And for those who, that great picture behind him is from our HR director, Victoria Milian. I don't think he's on the call anymore, but he was featured last year. He's really an amazing photographer. And that was one of his pictures. So thanks, John, for highlighting that. It was really lovely. And if you want to see some more of his work, go to the Bronx site, because we have a little gallery of Victoria's work up there. So really amazing.
Yeah, that's a great picture.
Don't worry, everything's going to be amazing.
Eventually.
My apartment last year, and I've looked at it every single morning during the pandemic. It was really helpful.
Next year, gal in person. Let's do it.
All right, guys, thank you. It's been an honor. I'm amazed. So I don't know what to say. I've said all my words.
Thank you, Jeannie.
All right. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Julia. It's so nice to see you too. Hope to see you soon. You guys are
We'll see you on Other Avenue.
Thank you, boss lady, for everything. As your name says, you're a genie.
Way to go, Anthony.
One last comment. You know,
You did a great job. Carolyn, always. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Mary.
God bless. God bless. Have a great summer. Stay well. Goodbye.
Goodbye, my ladies.
Hi, everyone.
See you guys in the next episode of
Bye.
Kennedy Children's Center.
Thank you.
Enjoy your time off, Anthony.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. You too.
Thank you.
Bye,
See you guys in
everyone.
the next episode of KCC.
Have a good night.